just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage.
Looks like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello and welcome back once again here to Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. It's the RFC NextGen K&N Series live from Talladega Super Speedway. This 2.65 huge track is going to bring us some great racing action later on here tonight for the Mission 22 75, sponsored by excuse me, sorry about that, sponsored by Mike Massengill in his number 3 machine. So let's see if we can't get in a quick word or two with today's race sponsor. Mike, you got your ears on, bud?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Oh, hey, my man. How you doing? How you feeling tonight?
Well, if I can just have the luck on my side this race, I feel pretty good. We got the teammates working with us, and we got a pretty good plan set up.
All right, man. Well, you are tonight's race sponsor, choosing Mission 22 as the cause that you were going to put on display. Would you give us any backstory to that, or why you chose this particular organization?
Well, I'm a combat vet, and Mission 22 is a organization that deals with veteran suicide. And they have a lot of programs and other websites and stuff that you can go to, and they are doing a lot, and they've actually expanded out from just veterans also to first responders, because they deal with a lot of issues on an everyday basis also. But it's mainly a organization, a nonprofit organization that deals with veteran suicide.
All right, man. Well, that is a That's a pretty good cause, and I'm pretty sure a lot of veterans out there do appreciate all the work that they do. So hats off to you, my man. Thanks for sponsoring tonight's race. Before we let you go and get ready for qualifying, you want to give any shout outs before we start this thing off?
Yeah, just give a shout out to you for your broadcast, all the admins of the league, and the awesome job they do. My teammates, Katie Osmond and Chris Berg out here. We're going to try to bring it home. We just got to get the luck on our side.
All right, my man. Well, good luck and elbows up.
Thank you, sir.
There you have it. That was the driver of the 3 machine, Michael Massengill, choosing Mission 22 for tonight's race sponsor. And, well, we're getting closer and closer to the end of happy hour. It looks like our leaderboard has Eric Blount, his 6 machine, up there on top. But we'll take a real quick look here while we've got a little bit of time now, just under a minute of happy hour, not qualifying, left to get in the books. Dale Osmond sitting on top of your point standings. KD has had control for the past 2 or 3 weeks now. Troy Radford right there knocking on his door. Cole Day, Gordon Larson Jr., Alan Westman, all right there in the top 5. Chris Berg has fell back from, at one time, leading the point standings all the way back to the 6th position. Have a couple other drivers on the outside of that top 10 looking in. Lance Yancey, Damon Cox, Thomas Light, Justin Walters, Bobby Summers. All of those drivers very capable of coming away with a race win later on in the second half of the season. And we are just about to that midway point. Now you'll see that yellow flag out there waving. Happy hour has come to an end. Actually, waving the checkered flag, I should say. Gonna display the caution for just a moment as they switch over for qualifying. And we will get set to have things underway. There you see yellow flag condition coming out, making sure track is ready to go. Green flag has waved for qualifying. Who will be the bravest and jump out there first? Looks like Eric Blount and his 6 machine. He ain't never scared. That's what he was saying. There you see him coming off of pit road. We'll take a step back here, right around with Eric as he makes his qualifying attempts here tonight for the Mission 22 75 from Talladega Super Speedway. While it's still early and I got it on my mind, want to give a shout out to everybody out there watching here tonight. Miss Haney, Miss Linda, thank you for joining us once again. Good to see a familiar name out there in the chat each and every week. Thank you. We do appreciate it. All these drivers appreciate it. And Bobby, son, you got to get some practice in. And Brandon, hate to hear that. Do miss you out there on track, but get those kiddos feeling better and come on back out. We'll be waiting for you, that's for sure, man. And you know how Talladega is, so not a bad one to take a provisional on, I guess. Multiple other drivers out there on track right now. David Schmidt Jr. and his 8 machine also on track. Chuck Mobley, Chris Berg, Derek Robinson sitting at the end of pit road. Kendall Lebron and his 8 machine out there. We'll wait and see where Eric shakes out at. We'll drop down your qualifying order over there. Back across the line for the first time. Well, going to be at the top of the board. He's the only one that has pulled that timed line. Now Chuck Mobley taking over that top spot. David Schmidt Jr. yet to cross pit lane for his first time lap. And you'll notice these drivers right down there on that yellow line trying to make the second lap the shortest lap around. Eric absolutely hugging that yellow line. David Schmidt Jr. not putting in a timed lap as of yet. Neither has Kendall Lebron. So both of those drivers' first laps being nullified and not taking place. So they'll have to wait until the second lap around. Can Eric slot himself back up into that top spot to the provisional pole, down around the front stretch to the stripe? Then back to the leaderboard goes Blount. Will Chuck Mobley, he's getting ready to come off of 4 right here. Can Chuck Mobley? Yes, he does. He takes that top spot away. Chris Berg going to slot up into second. Kendall Lebron in fourth. Eric being shoved all the way back to the third position. David Schmidt Jr. shaking out in the fourth spot. No other drivers yet to begin their qualifying laps. Looks like Jeffrey Vandervoort and his 21 machine, along with the 38 of Derek Robinson, they're kind of just sitting down out there, kind of relaxing, if you will, on the end of pit road. So we'll break away while no cars are on the track. Still 6 minutes left to go here in qualifying, so still a good chance we could have a few drivers venture on out there on track. But we'll just have to wait to see. This is a super speedway, so a few drivers may not be electing to go out there on track. Racing surface, a very lonely place out here at Talladega Super Speedway today, halfway through qualifying for the RFC NextGen K&N Series Mission 2275, live from Talladega Super Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have had the only drivers that want to qualify. I believe that's going to be just about it as we get right at the 5-minute mark, right halfway through qualifying, and only 5 drivers deciding to go out there on track and put down a qualifying lap. So we'll get rid of this little board here. See if we see any kind of commotion going down there on pit road. Doesn't look to be like there's any right now, so it's a very interesting moment here at Talladega Super Speedway to hear just utter silence and quiet. I can assure you that is not gonna stick around for long. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, since I do believe that's going to be all of the drivers that are going to put down a qualifying lap, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. Then we will check in before we head back down trackside for the playing of the national anthem. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Hi, Marcia. I almost erased you. I was going to draw a car. You do? But you're a... Well, I don't know. A racing driver? Well, we can make that happen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thanks for rejoining us for today's Mission 2275 live here from Talladega Superspeedway. Drivers have hit the track. We will give you today's starting lineup. Pole position goes to the 76 of Chuck Mobley, the 8 of Kendall Levron lining up to his outside. Row number 2, the 08 of David Schmidt Jr. and the 67 of Chris Berg. Row number 3, the 6 of Eric Blount and the 49 of Troy Radford. Row number 4, the 82 of Tyler Hilton, followed by the 33 of Brian Massengill Jr. Row number 5 tonight, the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. I believe Brandon is going to possibly, maybe try to get through this thing. We'll have to see. The 88 of Katie Osmond, your points leader, starting outside row number 5. Row number 6, the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort and the 19 of Rick excuse me, in the 19 of Rick Reiner. Row number 7, the 57 of Damon Cox, followed by the 38 of Derek Robinson. Row number 8, the 98 of Thomas Light, followed by the 14 of Corey Walters. Row number 9 tonight, the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. and the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Row 10 tonight, the 84 of Chris Mefford, followed by the 71 of Jason Edmonston. Row number 11, the 44 of Adam Novak and the 22 of Cody Terry. Row number 12 here tonight. Your race sponsor for the Mission 2275, Mike Massengill and his number 3 machine, followed by the 47 of Ray Radford. Row 13, and rounding out the field for tonight's race, the 23 of Bobby Summers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That's your starting lineup. Things gonna get ready to get popping, shaking, moving. These drivers gonna put on one crazy show. We're getting ready to go. Green Flag Racing live here on Turn 3 Racing Network from Talladega Super Speedway. And oh my goodness, K&N action at its finest. Here we go. Pace car gonna make its way out of the way. Finally get that forward butt staying out of the way, and we can get this thing fired off and underway. Remember, it is a long way around to the restart box here at Talladega Super Speedway. Start-finish line isn't traditional in the sense of being in the center of the tri-oval. It's moved back a couple hundred yards. Green flag is out, and we're racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. Chuck Mobley in the 76 leading that inside lane with a push from David Schmidt Jr. Everything seemed to be going just fine so far for all of these race car drivers. Everything's shaking out to be okay back through the field. We'll take a little further look back in the field, get you a little better perspective as we set off into a long night of super speedway racing. 75 laps here tonight. That is just under the 200 mile mark, 199 miles to be exact, around this very big racing facility. I mean, you can get 3-4 wide here very easily. Up at the front, no problems for Chuck Mobley, as he's going to cross the line and lead the first lap here today for the Mission 2275. Drivers making their way back down the backstretch once again. Everything sorted out for about the top 10 or so, all falling in line. Brian Massengill Jr. running in 10th. First car out there, but he is all alone. A lot of cars down there already on the bottom lane, all linked up, hooked up, single file, just logging laps. And I tell you what, I mean, it may be a little bit too soon, maybe a little too early, but I mean, why not? Field is all gathered up right here together, and tell you what, let's go to our turn 3. Turn it up. Okay, maybe let's not say we did. Not quite sure what that was all about, but I tell you what, let's go back to it. Let's see if it happens again. and why not do it? You know what I mean? Beautiful. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. A little bit of crazy glitchy there for a second. Not quite sure what that's all about. We'll work through all of that though. However, your race leader up at the front, still leading the field, the 76 of Chuck Mobley, still being followed closely by that 08 of David Schmidt Jr. Your entire field is almost single file. Small gaps between each one of these K&N Series drivers. There you see Chuck Mobley leading the field, David Schmidt Jr. in second, third place Eric Blount, Troy Radford in fourth, Tyler Hilton rounding out your top five, but KD, he's right there in sixth place in his Sun Drop 88 Chevy Impala. Chris Berg also right there, Kendall Levron running in eighth. Brian Massengill Jr. looks like he's kind of fell back through the field, maybe picking up a few other teammates out there with Dirty Air Racing. We'll have to take a look, see who he is actually around. And as far as I can tell, Damon Cox, he is up inside that top 10. So not really seeing the teammate strategy there. For Brian Massengill Jr. Rick Reinert, he is back there, but I am not sure they're quite hooking up with each other just yet. 3-car train on the outside, starting to make some moves in the back. Single file still at the front as we are working lap number 7 out of 75 here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. And I tell you what, we're going to have to go to a different one because that's just not going to do it. Still pushing hard up at the front. David Schmidt Jr. right there on the rear bumper of that 76 machine. Chuck Mobley doing a good job being the Pied Piper, if you will. Very patient drivers at this point in time in tonight's Mission 2275 from Talladega Super Speedway. Everybody seems to be fairly content with just riding, and as I say that, well, on the outside lane, those 3 drivers now make it 4, as I can't quite tell who that is. That may be Bobby Summers in the 23 machine up there just in front of Brian Massengill Jr. making a move on the outside. We'll have to wait and see how far those drivers can make it up through the field. Field beginning to snake down the backstretch just a little bit, but still maintaining a good speed so far out here tonight. So very surprised actually to see these drivers get so organized so early, not testing the waters, not wanting to get out of shape. No fast repairs here in the RFC NextGen K&N Series. So yeah. And Jags, if you can you tell me how the audios are mid-camera pack and stuff? Not sure if the engines overpower the voice, like right in here or so, if you can still hear the cars and still hear me. Give me a shout, let me know, and once again, that's why we love you, Jags. Field coming back through the tri-oval. Your race leader, still the 76 of Chuck Mobley, still pushing as they were from the start. The 08 of David Schmidt Jr. not coming unglued from that rear bumper as they work their way through 1 and 2. And that outside lane being led by Bobby Summers is slowly but surely making their way to the front of the field. down the back stretch now, even with the third car on the outside. Inside lane pulling just a little bit. Eric Blount clearing. Now he's going to jump out right in front of Bobby Summers. And that's going to put a few more drivers in. Oh my, Bobby Summers says no, sir. He's going to try to stick Eric Blount 3 wide, and we're going to have 3 wide coming back to the line in the middle. Stuck out all by himself, the 6 of Eric Blount. What's going to happen here? This could get interesting, as Eric's not sure which way he's going to go. Awesome, awesome. Do appreciate it. Thank you, Jax. Once again, this is why I love you. Back down the back stretch, Eric Blount has made some momentum, some ground up on that outside lane with help from Bobby Summers. Where did Brian Massengill Jr. go? There he is, now finally coming back into the picture. Looks like those top 2 are going to have their hands full now. Which way does David Schmidt Jr. go? Not sure where he's going to take it. Will Eric Blount keep the lead of that outside lane? Or will Chuck Mobley or Schmidt Jr. decide to go out there and lead that outside lane? Because they came from a long, long way away. And we are still green flag racing, 13 laps out of 75 here tonight for the Mission 22. 75 live on Turn 3 Racing Network. Pulling even now with the 49 of Troy Radford is Eric Blount as he surges back towards your top 2 drivers. And looking back through the field, don't want to really jump too far back off of the race lead, but things are still fairly calm down there on that inside lane. Most of your drivers are grouped down there. You do have these 6 drivers, and that is it. Just 6 drivers out of the 23 drivers out there on track are trying to get that momentum built up, trying to wind up the power, the energy on that outside lane and come around and try to battle for the race lead. They just don't have the numbers or the energy just yet, and Eric Blount back down to the inside lane. He's going to slot in 3rd, just in front of Troy Radford and his 49 machine. Will Troy stay down there? Will he push? I don't know, but we're about to go 3 wide with a lapped machine. That looks to be the 47 of Ray Radford losing a little bit of time, and here comes Troy looking like he was looking to the outside. Not quite going there just yet. Now that outside lane beginning to lose a lot more ground through 1 and 2. I apologize. Lap car staying well and way out of the way. But man, I don't think these 6 drivers, they're just not going to be able to get it done. They are getting help now with a 7th driver out there on the outside. Can't make out the number, but I believe that may be the 22 of Cody Terry now joining the fight on the outside lane. Yes, it is, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it. There you see it, just a long train of cars down on the inside lane, and we are far away from green flag pit stops. We're 16 laps into this thing. We've still got a good 10 to 15 laps before we hit green flag pit stops once again. So that's not the reason these drivers just basically jumping into being organized right from the gate and content with logging laps. But a few drivers say, no sir, let me lead this thing. Brian Massengill Jr. has been doing an amazing job pushing the daylights out of that 23 of Bobby Summers. That outside lane beginning to surge once again, and I tell you what, let's jump on board with that 33 of Brian Massengill Jr. as he makes his way around this track. you can hear that engine just absolutely singing right now. No lift whatsoever, all over the gas pedal, all over this rear deck lid of the 23. A little bit of a breathe right there on the throttle. Stays right back in it, right tucked up, and he's going to push him even now. So I tell you what, we're going to jump out of this view right here. We're going to bring you back to the action on track as these outside top two drivers are beginning to surge to the front, beginning to gain some ground on Chuck Mobley and David Schmidt Jr. They haven't had to deal with anybody just yet, but here they are right there now, even with the 808 machine of Schmidt Jr. down there on the bottom lane. And I tell you what, if those other three drivers could just quite get up there, that might give them the extra little push they need. Now falling back just a little bit once again is that outside lane. So I'm not sure they can just get it done by themselves. Back down the back stretch once again, gaining ground. That outside lane being headed by Bobby Summers. He slotted in second position that last time around at the stripe. Brian Massengill Jr. pushing the daylights out of him right now, but just not able to push hard enough, long enough to get Summers out there to the race lead just yet. Every time that outside lane gains a little bit of a momentum, that inside lane comes back and takes the lead back away. So it's just a little bit of a yo-yo, an accordion effect, if you will, so far out there tonight. And now starting to lose a little bit more ground with each corner is that outside lane. Those top two have put in a valiant effort trying to get up there and battle for the lead, and it looks like we've got 2 and 3 wide behind them. Those drivers having a little bit of issues, and looks like we may see a little bit of team action starting to unfold in front of us. We've got Brian Massengill Jr., Rick Reinert right there with each other. Those two Dirty Air Racing drivers really enjoy working with each other, so be on the lookout for a bold move from that 33, possibly taking him 3 wide with his Dirty Air Racing teammate Rick Reinert just behind him in the 19. Things starting to shake up a little bit. 3 wide as the 19 falls back behind the 8 of Kendall Levron. I believe that was Kendall. Yes, it was. Sorry, sometimes my eyes, they don't see so good, you know what I mean? Everything starting to sort itself out. Looks like drivers all opting to go to the top of the track. That may mean green flag pit stops are looming. 22 laps into this race. We are close. Pretty close to being about a third, maybe? Somewhere in that range. Someone help me, I'm drowning. Still green flag racing lap 23 out of 75 here tonight for the Mission 22. 75 live from Talladega Super Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Want to thank and welcome everybody for joining us here today on Turn 3 Racing Network. And man, oh man, these race car drivers are putting on one heck of a show at this super speedway. I mean, upwards of In the K&N cars, you're probably doing close to 195, possibly getting right there at the 200 mile an hour mark, but you're going to have to be pushing your guts out to hit that one. But make no mistake about it, these drivers are pedal to the metal, and they are traveling at some pretty high speeds. I tell you what, just to give you a little bit idea, we'll check on a speed here. There you see it, Brian Massengill Jr., 195 down the back stretch. And into turn 3 at 195 miles an hour, so that just lets you know, that just backs up the fact of what I was talking about, as the outside lane beginning to break up tremendously. Drivers hitting pit road, a ton of drivers on the pit road. We'll have to keep an eye. Everything looks okay. Oh! And we've got one going around on pit road. Who was that? Big mistake. Big mistake. Looks like Kendall Levron was the driver involved in that. So we'll take just 1 second with our turn 3 replay. Oh, and Bobby Summers with the issue into Kendall Levron. Brian Massengill Jr. with a little bit of damage as well. Troy Radford stayed out on track. He remains the race leader. So that is going to put an interesting twist on the pit road. Interesting little twist here. As your front runners now hit pit road, looks like we're going to have everybody, I do believe, hitting pit road that was on the lead lap. So that should put the lead in the hands of this man right here. David Schmidt Jr. leading the field off of pit road. He's got Cody Terry and Jason Edmonston in tow. Adam Novak, Chuck Mobley, and Brian Massengill Jr. just behind them. Rick Reinert, Kendall Levron a little bit further behind them after having to stop right on pit road, and Bobby Summers being scored 1 lap down after having a tough break there on pit road. Looks like the other pack not going to be able to get up to speed quite fast enough. There you see them down on the apron. These front 3 drivers may step away from the field here. All depends on how things shake out right here as these drivers begin to merge back on to the backstretch with each other. Damon Cox just now onto pit road, being scored as your race leader. No problem. Motoring right on past goes that 08 of David Schmidt Jr. But he does have a few more drivers. Looks like Troy Radford, Jeffrey Vandervoort, those drivers did an excellent job on and off of pit road. They're going to assume the race lead this time by. Damon Cox going to get gobbled up as he is all alone down there coming off of pit road. New race leader, the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort. All the drivers starting to work their way back single file once again. Catching up, David Schmidt Jr., Chris Berg. Ooh, great racing shot being shown there off of the back of Jeffrey Vandervoort's machine, looking at Troy Radford. And oh my, around the outside, David Schmidt Jr. Oh, and a big moment from Jason Edmonston as he goes through, put him to 3rd spot. My goodness, that was a crazy little moment there as Jason made his way by that 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort. Now leading the field, the 08 of David Schmidt Jr. went from pushing the race leader to being the race leader. 23 laps is how long he pushed that 76 of Chuck Mobley, and Chuck having some issues, my goodness, being shown all the way back in the 18th spot now. So Chuck gonna have a lot of time to make up out there tonight. Coming back around to the stripe, we will take lap number 30 out of 75 here tonight, and we are very, very close to halfway through tonight's race. An absolutely blistering pace being put on out there tonight from these RFC NextGen K&N Series drivers. This is race number 11, the Mission 22 75 here at Talladega Super Speedway. Once again, want to give a big shout out and thank you to tonight's race sponsor, Mike Massengill, putting on a great cause into the front of everybody's mind with labeling tonight's race the Mission 2275. Great cause. Go check him out. Mission 22. Put it in your Google search and you'll be led in the right direction. Speaking of being led in the right direction, the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. trying to get the job done out there on the outside. He's got the 38 of Derek Robinson pushing him, and now we're starting to see these drivers snake around just a little bit more. And judging by those green flag pit stops, we're going to have at least one more set. Oh, big wiggle there by the 71. Almost up into the side of, Gordon Larson Jr. Oh, I lost my train of thought there. I just went dumb. Well, I mean, I'm usually dumb, but, well, never mind. None of that matters. Field a little bit more racy this time around after the first, let's call it the first stage in the race. First set of green flag pit stops done, over, out of the way, and now we've got a side-by-side battle for the race lead. Gordon Larson Jr. losing a little bit of ground through 3 and 4, but look for that outside lane to pull back, to come surging back on the outside. Gordon Larson Jr. not quite able to get there just yet. Very, very close at the line. As we've got those 6 drivers once again lined up in that outside lane. A few new faces joining that 6 team. But there you see it, finally making some ground, making that momentum up, surging, not clearing that 08 just yet, as the inside lane gonna start building the energy back up. And there you see motoring back around off of the exit of turn number 4, that 08 of David Schmidt Jr. Oh, big wiggle from that outside lane, as Schmidt Jr. gonna lead another one as he crosses the line first. Once again, put that to 6 laps being led for that 08 and his crew. Gonna take a look back through the field just a little bit, just right around the top 10, and there you'll see another battle brewing between all of these drivers. Early race leader Chuck Mobley sitting in 8th, Brian Massengill Jr. in 9th, Corey Walters in 10th, Troy Radford in 12th, Chris Medford back there in 13th spot. There you see very long train of cars, and as I already mentioned, just 5 or 6 drivers trying to make that outside line work. They're trying to, but it's not quite there. It's just not quite materializing the way that these drivers would need it to go. So, very, very long night indeed. I tell you what, let's go ahead and jump on board. Oh, and that is not the thing I meant to do. So let's go ahead and redo that and jump on board with the number 14 of Corey Walters just at the tail end of this very, very large front pack. Great camera work from everybody here at Turn 3 Racing Network, bringing you some great on-board shots from today's race. That was on board with the 14 of Corey Walters, running in the 11th position, still leading the race. The 08 of David Schmidt Jr. coming back up on a lapped machine, as Ray Radford's going to be put another lap down here at Talladega Superspeedway. Put Ray down 2 laps. Now Kendall Levron down 1 lap, battling with Bobby Summers for that lucky dog position. And they're going to have to be fairly careful, as they are a long way off of the race leader. And there you see Bobby Summers just now being put that lap down. I said he was way off of the race leaders, and well, I guess I'm kind of right, because he is a lap down, but just now going a lap down. So wanting to stay kind of bunched up with him. Going to be interesting to see how himself and Kendall Levron, driver just behind him, play this on out, as they are battling for that lucky dog position. Little bit of house cleaning while we have a chance. Through 3 and 4 this time by. When we hit the line, we will take lap 39 out of 75 here tonight for the Mission 22 75. 25 drivers came to the track. 23 still out there running. First car 1 lap down, the 23 of Bobby Summers, followed by the 8 of Kendall Levron. Ray Radford in the 47 finds himself 2 laps down in 23rd, and back behind the wall already is the 5 of Brandon Hartwell and the 98 of Thomas Light. Both of those drivers not being able to roll out and make a lap, had to push their machines back behind the wall. Unfortunately, their night ended before it ever got started, and now back up at the front, battle for the race lead. Side by side, once again, Gordon Larson Jr. trying to get up there and lead a lap. Not gonna be able to do it just yet. David Schmidt Jr. and his crew of cars down on the bottom lane, gonna surge forward at the line and lead another lap. And I tell you what, well, why not? You know what I mean? Why not do it again? We're going to jump to yet another Turn 3, Turn It Up. For some reason, it's not liking the Turn It Up icon tonight, but we can still bring you the shots. My goodness. Still battling for the race lead, the 08 of David Schmidt Jr. and the 22 of Cody Terry down there on the inside line, trying to hold off Gordon Larson Jr. and the 38 of Derek Robinson. Those drivers trying to get up there and take the lead, not going to be able to do it just yet. Bobby Summers 1 lap down, working his way lonely out there on the very, very high side, trying to make that third lane work, but not sure he's going to be able to do it all by himself. Will he have anybody jump out there with him? Looks like Brian Massengill Jr. keeps thinking about it. And here we go. Business gonna pick up. We're gonna have 3 wide racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. Once again, these drivers working their way into turn number 1 and 2. That is Dirty Air Racing teammates Brian Massengill Jr. as well as Rick Reinert in the 19. They're gonna motor right on by Gordon Larson Jr., but they're giving up just a little bit of time to the inside lane. Will they drop down just in front of Gordon Larson Jr., or will they let him come to them? We've still got 7 drivers out there on that outside lane, and now that outside lane really moving with Brian Massengill Jr. leading the field. Well, leading the line, I should say. David Schmidt Jr. still in control of the race lead on the inside lane. Side-by-side battle for the race lead as we are working our way closer to another lap down machine. I believe that may be the 57 of Damon Cox. Oh, and up into the wall goes Bobby Summers. I believe that was Bobby Summers. We'll take a look at the timing and scoring. We stay under green flag conditions, and it looks like, yes, that was Bobby Summers. That was up and into the wall. There you see him wounded and battered. Still under power, still going the right way. We'll rejoin our race leaders as they battle their way through turns 1 and 2 once again, side by side for the race lead. Brian Massengill Jr. trying to make that outside lane work with help from his teammate in the 19, Rick Reinert. They've got Eric Blount in his 6 car just behind them. "45 laps in the book, now working lap number 46. When we cross the line this time by, that's going to leave us with only 30 laps left to go here from Talladega Super Speedway. We are over the halfway point, and business has picked up. And when will we see drivers start to hit pit road as we are into the 20-plus laps of fuel so far in this run? We have been green flag racing since the drop of the green flag, so these drivers doing one hell of a job out there with these cars moving, shaking, wiggling, wobbling at almost 200 miles an hour. So hats off to each and every one of those drivers doing their part, their job, putting on the show here tonight. And it's going to be interesting, actually, to see if these drivers are able to make it far enough to only have to pit this last time, or will they end up needing to come back down to get a splash? This is going to be pretty interesting. Brian Massengill Jr. in the 4 cars on the outside lane, beginning to lose a little bit of ground on your leaders. Maybe they are looking to get back, get in line for this next round of green flag pit stops. Just behind them, there you see a second pack of cars being led by Gordon Larson Jr. now, about 1.5 seconds or so off of your race lead. So not too far out of it, right there in touch, right there ready to do what they need to do, whether it's hit pit road or avoid an accident. They have built themselves a little bit of a safety zone, a little bit of a buffer zone, so to speak. And just as I say that, a lot of these drivers beginning to fill those voids, and we're going to have one very long train of cars once again. Your race leader, David Smith Jr., in charge of the field since the green flag pit stops. And Brian Massengill Jr., man, he is a lonely, lonely race car driver out there on that outside lane right now. Inching closer and closer to the pit stops, and there you see, oh my goodness, Chuck Mobley almost into the side of another driver. Oh my God, that was an amazing entry to pit road for a lot of drivers. Brian Massengill Jr., heck of a job getting on pit road. Chuck Mobley with an amazing job onto pit road. All of those drivers onto pit road cleanly. We'll have to wait to see if anybody got any kind of speeding penalties. Everything looks to be okay as of right now, but 25 laps into the green flag run, they have hit pit road. We still have 26 laps left to go here from Talladega Superspeedway. Can they make it to the end? These drivers right here should be able to make it to the end. Oh, and looks like we've got a few takers this time by. Eric Blount going to bring only himself in 2, 3, 4 other drivers now hitting pit road with Eric, Rick Reinert, Gordon Larson Jr., Corey Walters, Adam Novak, all of those drivers hitting pit road that time by. Looks like Cody Terry on and off pit road the best with that first group of cars to hit pit road. Your race leader Troy Radford making his way around his dad Ray Radford up there on the outside lane. Troy yet to bring your top 7 to pit road, and looks like they're gonna peel off this time by. A little bit more cautious here from this top 7 as they make their way to pit road, and that's gonna make us go back here and join Cody Terry, Jeffrey Vandervoort, as well as Brian Massengill Jr. as they're up to speed and rolling. Gordon Larson Jr. just now coming off of pit road. There you see Eric Blount kind of by himself right now. And ladies and gentlemen, you may see a 3-car breakaway here for a few laps. Are they able to put some distance between themselves and Eric? Looks like they're going to be able to do it. Eric's going to have to depend on some help from Gordon Larson Jr., Corey Walters, and Rick Reinert to get back up to this, what will be, well, I shouldn't say what will be. It's going to be very close. As Tyler Hilton, Troy Radford, all of those drivers coming off of pit road. Man, I tell you what, let's jump a little bit forward on the track, see where these drivers are just now. Halfway down the back stretch and coming with a head of steam is Cody Terry, Jeffrey Vandervoort, and Brian Massengill Jr. Your top 2 locked up and ready to go with each other. Chris Medford right there coming in to put his name in the hat, if you will. And these drivers going to maintain that top spot as Cody Terry is about 2 seconds back So my goodness, looks like fuel only for your top 5, no tires, as nobody had a time over 9.3 seconds on pit lane. Looks like a few of the drivers in that first group on pit road for just a little bit longer. So we will jump back and have a little look, though. Here you see it. Not that far off. 1.1 seconds now is the difference between Cody Terry and the driver in front of him. Or I should say the cars in front of him. Your race leader, Tyler Hilton. So these drivers still within striking distance. But time is a-ticking. Time is running out. And here you see that second pack, the first group of cars to hit pit road. They've made their way back up to that top 5. And around the outside comes the 22 of Cody Terry with help from Jeffrey Vandervoort. They're even with Katie Osmond running in the 5th spot in the 88 Sundrop machine. But do they have what it takes to get there up front? Will anybody jump out and try to lead that outside lane, as the 57 of Damon Cox is going to go down another lap here today? That's going to put Damon down 2 laps, as we've still got 18 cars on the lead lap. First car 1 lap down is the 44 of Adam Novak. Things about to get interesting. Business is about to pick up. Lap 55 out of 75 here tonight for the Mission 22. 75 from Talladega Super Speedway, coming across the line this time by lap number 56. And we have got 20 laps left to go. Will we stay green till the end? Will we see carnage with a late race caution here at Talladega Super Speedway? Well, you're going to have to wait to find out, just like I am. And now, moving closer to the front once again, Cody Terry with help from Jeffrey Vandervoort. They are going to battle for the top spot with Tyler Hilton and Troy Radford down there on that inside lane. And the entire field slowly starting to catch back up. Brian Massengill Jr. has dropped all the way back to the 13th position. Stop. Rewind. And press record. Brian Massengill Jr. dropping all the way to 13th after being right there on the heels of the 21. He has dropped way through the field. Cody Terry with a huge push. That's going to clear himself as well as Vandervoort and leave Eric Blount out there on the outside all alone. New race leader, the 22 of Cody Terry. A lot of movement out of the cars down the back stretch. A lot of snaking. A lot of weaving going on out of these K&N Series drivers. Because I'm telling you, these things aren't that easy to handle here. They are pretty light and, well, they're a handful. They're an absolute handful. Eric Blount still in the outside lane, still trying to make it work. No help as of yet, as Gordon Larson Jr. still about 2 car lengths off of his rear bumper. And when will we see that battle start? Because it's going to start to unfold soon. Oh, we've got contact. Chuck Mobley involved. We stay under green as these drivers have sorted it out. Let's take a look back real quick, see what happened here, and we'll rejoin our race lead. No caution out as of yet. Cody Terry still being scored as a race leader. No, just a bump gone wrong. Got Mobley sideways. Ooh, Adam Novak caught up in sideways. Just like that, one mistimed bump. One just out of place shot. And you can find yourself in some real trouble. With that happening, that has shaken up the field quite a bit. Looks like your top 12 still all grouped up with each other, but Mike Massengill running in the 13th spot. He finds himself 1.5 seconds behind this lead pack, and help is not in sight. Brandon Medford almost a second back off of him, as Brian Massengill Jr. and David Smith Jr. also having to check up for that incident and find themselves now almost 7 seconds behind the battle for the race lead. We've got a few drivers looking like they want to attempt that outside lane, but a little bit unsure. The 49 of Troy Radford looked out of turn 2 like he may try to stay out there, but then he slotted right back in behind the 82 of Tyler Hilton. Those drivers going to continue running the bottom lane just behind your top 3 runners, Cody Terry, Jeffrey Vandervoort, and Eric Blount, holding down that yellow line. Outside lane beginning to gain a little bit of ground again. Gordon Larson Jr. with help from Corey Walters and Rick Reinert. They're right there, even with Terry down the backstretch. Big shot coming from the 14. That's going to edge Gordon Larson Jr. out just about a half of a car length. But now comes that yo-yo effect in the inside lane. Going to motor right on past without any problems. Can the outside lane regain that energy? Not in time. Don't think so. Eric Blount now side by side with Gordon Larson Jr. And ladies and gentlemen, we have got ourselves a race to the end here tonight. 12 cars still in this front pack, and looks like the outside lane is starting to get the numbers. So will that be where the momentum comes from? Is that where you want to be? Drivers switching lanes back and forth, not sure where they want to be just yet. And will we see that 22 of Cody Terry throw the infamous block on a run should he think he needs to? Will he do it for the race win? That's a tough call, because there's not much I wouldn't do to win a race. If it meant spinning my mama out in turn 4, well, mama, I'm sorry, I'll take you to dinner afterwards. You going around. Side by side battle for the race lead once again. Gordon Larson Jr. with help from the 14 of Corey Walters, now with Rick Reinert, as well as I believe that is Tyler Hilton, as well as Troy Radford joining that outside lane. That's going to give them 5 cars, 4 cars grouped together down on the inside. Cody Terry, Jeffrey Vandervoort, Eric Blount, as well as the 71 of Jason Edmonston. Those 4 drivers trying to hold off the hard charging line, being led on the outside by Gordon Larson Jr. That 01 inches ahead, but just not quite enough. We will have 10 laps to go this time by as the drivers make their way off of turn 4 down and around this very long tri-oval to the start-finish line. Big side draft by Gordon Larson Jr. Back to the line, put the lead. I believe they're going to score it that way. We'll take a look. Did they score it that way? Gordon Larson Jr. being scored as the race leader that time by. And there you see a move to the bottom by Gordon as he's going to slot in front of the 22 of Cody Terry. That's going to put the 14 of Corey Walters leading that outside lane with Rick Reinert right there on his bumper. And I'm telling you, just like that with 10 laps to go, the intensity has already picked up. Both lines even down the back stretch. Corey Walters on the outside. Gordon Larson Jr. on the inside. Rick Reinert in the 19 pushing Corey Walters. Cody Terry pushing Gordon Larson Jr. Numbers are about even as far as your lines are concerned. Maybe one extra car on that outside lane right now as Corey Walters tries to make his way around. Gordon Larson Jr. at the line. Give the lap to Walters. Still side by side battle for the race lead. Corey Walters and Gordon Larson Jr. not sorted it out just yet. Rick Reinert still pushing all over that rear deck lid of the 14. A little bit of blink action going on from Gordon Larson Jr. And my goodness, what a push from the 19 to the back of the 14. That gets Walters a little bit loose, but he's going to carry a ton of momentum through the center off. And now another big push down the back stretch from the 19. Not quite enough to clear that inside lane just yet. They're going to motor on past on entry to 3 here once again through the center. Gordon Larson Jr. gaining a little bit of ground. Cody Terry pushing when the time was right, getting that inside lane back to the front of the field. These drivers doing a heck of a job, putting on one heck of a show. As you've seen, Rick Reinert able to push that 14 of Corey Walters around the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. to the lead. And Jason Edmonston around through pit road. We're going to stay under green flag conditions, though. Edmonston collects it. Oh, my goodness. Hate to see that happen. He's going to fall deep through the field now, as he's all alone and having to collect it through the grass. Big implications for Edmonston as he's going to drop through the field. And now, battle for the race lead. 5 laps left to go. Down the back stretch, the 19 of Rick Reinert getting a push now from the 82 of Tyler Hilton. Troy Radford right there in tow, and my goodness, I believe that is the 67 of Chris Berg, who is right there as well. KD Osmond with another great race run. He finds himself up in the mix as well, just inside your top 10, running in the 9th spot. And Corey Walters gets away from the bumper of Gordon Larson Jr. just a little bit. Is that going to be what the 19 and the 82 need? No, 3 wide now. The 82 of Tyler Hilton puts him 3 wide and takes the spot. He's going to lead that outside lane now. Big moment for Reinert as he's having a little bit of trouble in 3 and 4. Corey Walters, still your race leader. Gordon Larson Jr. now jumping to the outside. He's going to try to lead that outside lane. Three laps to go here in the Mission 2275. Brought to you, well, none other than here on Turn 3 Racing Network, but I'm sure you already know that because you followed us over here. And my goodness, these RFC NextGen K&N Series drivers. Oh, Eric Blount with a moment, collects it. He gets back onto the track. Whew, Rick Reinert running that 3rd lane all by himself. We're 3 wide. That's back for around the 9th, 10th, and 11th spot. Oh, I don't think it's over yet. These drivers doing a heck of a job out there tonight. No caution flags all race long. We have been green flag racing for 73 laps. 2 laps left to go, and that is an enormous amount of time here at Talladega Superspeedway. Corey Walters still leading that inside lane, being pushed by Cody Terry. Gordon Larson Jr. trying to make that outside lane work for him once again. And oh, we've got some bumping and banging going on back there. 3 wide now. Eric Blount in the middle. Oh my goodness, that is very close racing right there. Back across through the tri-oval. If we get there without anything happening. White flag in the air. With 1 to go, presented to you by Mission 22 and Mike Massengill. We are coming to the end of tonight's race, and looky here. 3 wide down the back stretch, 4 wide now. Halfway down. Oh, there goes half of the field. Still 4 wide for 2nd. Now 3 wide for 1st. Oh my God. This is going to be nuts. Corey Walters leading the inside lane. Eric Blount on the outside. Now side-by-side battle once again. 3 wide looking Gordon Larson Jr. on the inside. Corey Walters losing some ground. Eric Blount to the front with help from Tyler Hilton, and Eric Blount gonna walk away with the race win. Tyler Hilton in 2nd. 3rd place goes to Corey Walters. Tell you what though, let's back it up with our Turn 3 replay and see how that wreck unfolded. Give us just 1 second. We'll try to find that. There you see the little bit of a bump. Everything gets back collected. Everything seems to be going fine. Driver's going to make their way around this corner. Eric Blount right there in the middle, trying to find what happened here as Troy Radford, one of those drivers that was involved. Out there on the outside is Radford. Looks like a driver hits the apron a little bit. Still 3 wide. Chuck Mobley in the middle. Michael Massengill, the 84. 3 wide. Still 3 wide, now 4 wide. Contact made between Van der Voort. The 84 goes around into the 94. My goodness, cars go everywhere, and that's going to give the 6 the run he needs, and now he's burning it down. So while he enjoys his race win celebrations, we're going to set up for our post-race interviews here at Turn 3 Racing Network, so don't go anywhere. Stick with us. We will be right back. Well. Another one in the books. Excuse me. For the RFC NextGen K&N Series, the Mission 2275 here at Talladega Super Speedway. It's all over. It is in the books. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't get in a few words here with our third place finisher for tonight's race. And that will be the 14 of Corey Walters. Hey, bud, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Man, oh man, great race out there. Very organized, very calm most of the race. Tell us a little bit about your night and what was going through your head.
Well, calm wouldn't be the word to describe it, but yeah, heck of a race. I'm glad we were able to go green the whole way, and we had that last lap wreck, but I guess out. So yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking. Me and Gordon, my teammate for Hardline, had a strategy and it paid off. We went up front. We were 1 and 2 there for a little while. Thought I had it in the bag. We were kind of neck and neck in there, and then after that wreck, everything kind of broke up. But yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking, but I'm happy to come away with a top 5.
Yeah, man. I mean, excellent job walking away with third place. did you think we were gonna go as long as we went without a caution out there? It being a super speedway. If you had to bet, would you bet that we went that long, or would you lost some money here tonight?
I probably would have lost some money if I'd have bet because it's super speedway racing. Anybody, anything can go wrong. Somebody could lose focus for half a second, and that could be the end of it. So, yeah, there was a couple close calls there. A couple guys got on the apron and got swirly into one there, but yeah, hell of a race, man. Sure, I'm happy that we went caution free. Don't happen too often.
Absolutely, man. Well, once again, congratulations on a great finish in the race tonight, walking away with third place. Before we let you go, Corey, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Shout out to my teammate Gordon for working with me all night. He's a heck of a racer, man. He's always got a cool head about stuff, and I'm a little on the wild side, so he kind of keeps me calm. But yeah, I want to thank you guys up there in the booth. You do a heck of a job. I want to thank everybody at this league. They got a heck of a bunch of guys. Sorry, they got a good group of guys out here, and that's hard to find sometimes when you got 20, 30 guys that all race respectful, and I mean, it's good racing. It's hard racing, but it's respectful racing. I like it.
All right, well, there you have it. That was your third place finisher out there tonight, the 14 of Corey Walters. Now we'll see if we can't get in a word or two with your second place driver out there tonight, and that is none other than the 82 machine of Tyler Hilton. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Hey, I got you, buddy.
Hey, my man. Great race out there for you today. Great job coming home in second. Did you think we were going to go that long before the big one happened?
Honestly, no. But I mean, this is a great group of guys that are out here, so doesn't surprise me too much. But hey, got a little intense there at the end, especially that last lap.
Yeah, just walk us through what happened there on that last lap. Did you just mat it and close your eyes, or did you have any like Days of Thunder type moments roll through your head?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, coming to one to go, I was lined up with some of my Falcon teammates behind me. I had Troy behind me, and I think Mike Massengill was back there from Black Hawk Motorsports. He was working with us tonight, and Chris and KD, and we were in good position. I know the 01 kind of came up in front of me, took that outside line. We were trying to control it, but when that white flag flew, it was on. We went down turn 1 and 2, and when we hit the back straight, I saw a hole. I went for it, made it 4 wide. Thankfully for the group that made it 4 wide, we made it work. It was great racing with those guys, but unfortunately kind of got jumbled up behind us, and I know took out pretty much half the field on that. In doing so, I lost all my teammates on that one, and then I was just kind of a sitting duck. So fell back, kind of pushed Eric a little bit, try to make that last little surge in the tri-oval and make it to his inside, see if I could get anything whatsoever, and just came up a little bit short. But I'll take home second. That's fun. So I know the fans enjoyed it. I'm sure.
Well, I know I for sure did up here in the booth, man. And so once again, congratulations on a great second place finish out there tonight. Before I let you go, though, Tyler, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that to anybody out there watching?
Yeah, definitely. Again, to my Falcon teammates, do it without them. Each and every week we try to put on the best product we can and strategize, and we end up doing pretty good. Coming close, we just need to get a little bit better on it at the end. But outside of that, I don't think my paint actually came through on the broadcast, unfortunately. I think it's a problem on my end, but I had Mission 22 on the car. I was supporting Mike Massengill with his organization that he supports, especially for this race. Give a shout out to them. Give a shout out to Mike for sponsoring the race. You up in the booth, all the fans watching. I mean, you guys put on one of the best shows, definitely, in all of sim racing. So definitely appreciate what you guys do. All the guys out here on track tonight, and yeah, we'll load it up, take it to the next track, and see what we can do there.
All right, well, there you have it. Appreciate the kind words there, Tyler, but you guys make my job very, very easy. So now on to the man of the hour. There you see him chilling out, smoke boiling, but smoke done boiled from the tires, and Lord, I cannot talk worth a darn, so we'll just keep on rolling with it though. But gonna now be joined by my good buddy, race winner Eric Blount. How you doing, bro?
Hey there now, David. How's it going for you, bud?
It's going good for me, man. That was a great show to watch, but I don't know. I think I might rather trade places with you. Walking away with a race win, man. Hell of a job.
Oh, yeah, that car was on a rail tonight. It was a really good side draft.
Well, walk us through that final lap. A lot of kind of chaos. 3, 4, 5 wide at one time. You were able to make it through and back to the point, to the line, crossing the line for the race win first. So, I mean, just walk us through that last little lap there and what went through your head.
Yeah, well, I was on the bottom. I was going to stay at 84. Medford got a great run and, nosed me off the bottom. Pretty much put me in the middle where I didn't want to be, but it seemed to be the place to be because I was able to side draft the bottom line and top line and get right to the guy in front of me. I think it was Larson was in the middle, and he wiggled up and cleared the hole in the middle, and I just stayed 3 wide. I seen the guys get to each other behind me, and it's big chaos, and I just kept my foot in the middle, and I was able to get a really good run just through the trial. I squeezed by Hilton just enough for him to be behind me, and he gave me just enough of a push to get around Corey Walters. And I mean, we just had a great drag race to the finish. It was an awesome race.
That it absolutely was, Eric, man. It was a great race all night long. The finish was absolutely amazing. Great job walking away as the race winner out there tonight. Before we let you go and begin all your celebrations, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
I want to give a shout out to the league, all the drivers in it. Great job tonight. It just shows the talent this league has. I mean, Talladega, Wreckfest Capital, we went flag to flag. I mean, of course, we had a last lap incident, but I mean, it was a great night. I just want to shout out Wifey, mother-in-law, everybody that comes out and do what they got to do. Damon, you guys up in the booth do a great job. And I want to give a shout out to Andy Lambert. Happy birthday, buddy. Just can't be happier.
All right, there you have it. That was your parting words from the race winner, the 6 of Eric Blount. And now, there's not much of pretty much anything left for us to do up here in the booth except run down today's race results. First place, the 6 of Eric Blount. Second, the 82 of Tyler Hilton. Third place goes to the 14 of Corey Walters, while in fourth, the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. Fifth place, the 3 of Michael Massengill, and in sixth, the 22 of Cody Terry. Seventh spot goes to K.D. Osmond, and in eighth, the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Ninth position after an incident on the white flag lap, the 49 of Troy Radford. Rounding out your top 10 early race leader. Led the most laps today here for the Mission 22. 75 at Talladega Superspeedway, the 76 of Chuck Mobley. 11th position, the 84 of Chris Mefford, and in 12th, the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort. 13th position, the 19 of Rick Reinert, while the 67 of Chris Berg finishes today in 14th, rounding out your top 15, the 33 of Brian Massengill Jr., 16th, the 38 of Derek Robinson, and in 17th, the 08 of David Schmidt Jr. 18th spot goes to the 71 of Jason Edmonston, and in 19th, the 44 of Adam Novak. 20th spot tonight, the 57 of Damon the Unicorn Coxon, and 21st, the 47 of Ray Radford, followed by the 23 of Bobby Summers, the 8 of Kendall Levron, and finishing 24th, Brandon Hartwell in the number 5. Rounding out the field for tonight's race, the 98 of Thomas Light. Well. That is it. That is all she wrote, folks. Thank you once again for joining myself, David Worrell, up here in the booth for tonight's great RFC NextGen K&N Series action. Join us again next Sunday night, same time, same place. You already know what it is. We'll see you then. Thanks, and we'll see you later.